What's good, Tottenham Hotspur fans all around the world? I am that Hotspurs guy, call me Kieran. Wipe your feet at the door, you know the score. Oh my god, bro, this club is a circus, good lord. This club is an absolute circus. Woo! Wait, topsy-turvy. IGOR TUDOR has been relieved of his duties by mutual agreement. He's been sacked. And the club hasn't got any replacement to jump in. And we're just here sitting in limbo again. The club doesn't have an idea. The club doesn't have a clue. Nobody has a clue. Nobody whatsoever has a clue at this club. Like I said, Judgment Day already came and went. We flopped. You know, we flopped against Fulham. We flopped against Palace. We flopped against Nottingham Forest. It just is what it is. Like I said, we must accept our fate because the board owners, the club's owners, the former chairman, they decided to put the club and themselves between a mountain and a very, very tall skyscraper building at the depths, at the bottom of the ocean, trying to endure the pressure they put upon themselves because they decided to drink from the deep waters without knowing the depths of the well. Like I said, Champions League football, and I love Harry Redknapp, Champions League football was the worst thing this club ever had happened to it, because the club decided to well, not even that the club decided, the club just assumed that Champions League football was all that was required, was all that was needed. And many of our fans also thought so as well. I can't remember a season where our fans weren't saying things like, as long as we just get top four. I mean, as long as we could just get top four, you know, because the finance and the blah, 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 blah. Like the finance has got anything to do with us. When we say our club, that whole tribalism of what we used to have, that died long ago. It died about 10, 15 years ago, around the same time football in the Premier League in general died. We are washed up. And I'm tired of coming onto this channel, onto my channel and saying that our club is washed up. Because I don't want to see my football club, all right, the football club that I've supported since I was 6 years old, I don't want to see us get relegated, bro. I don't want to see us get relegated. But at the same time, like I've said, we friggin' deserve it. Some of our fans deserve it. The club, the board owners definitely deserve it. But what are we doing? What are we doing? And then I'm hearing Sean Dyche could be the possible guy. And I'm just like, I sent a voice message to my dad. I'm like, look, if Sean Dyche comes in here, I am done. All capitals with 10 exclamation marks. I'm done. Because if we think that these players are going to, I've said it already, if we think that these players are going to look at Sean Dyche come through the door and be like, oh, man like Sean Dyche, it's not happening. It's not, you know? And then, like, again, we put ourselves here, man. We put ourselves here, you know? Because now some fans are like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have sacked Thomas Frank and da-da-da. But again, it's just like, we should have either backed the man or sacked the man in January, regardless of what we were, what the hell was that? Regardless of what we were going to do, we should have been bringing players in January. We didn't do it, you know? And it's like, we've been sitting here. The club has been sitting here and just dawdled the entire time while the teams in the relegation battle around us have been doing their utmost to try and divert that whole relegation. And it's just the fact that Tottenham have sat there and just thought, nah, what happened last season could happen again. We'll get all of those men back from injury. You know, we'll be just fine. We'll be cool once they come back from injury. Not even thinking or realizing to themselves that some of these men who have been out injured for most of the season, they're not going to come back thinking, yeah, I want to come back to save Tottenham Hotspur. What? Why would they? They don't care about Tottenham Hotspur, like the Kulusevskis, the Bentancurs, the Maddisons, and I know everybody loves Maddison, and to a slight degree, I like Maddison too because he's a good player. But the guy's he's been more injured than he has played games for us. We cannot be dealing with him no more. So there's talks of De Zerbi, you know, and I'm like, none of these names even, they don't tickle my balls. I'm sorry. None of these names for the managers tickle my balls. None of them. None of them do. None of them do. Because again, I'm going back to before we signed Nuno Espirito Santo and then had to crawl on our hands and knees back to Conte. I'm thinking about when we tried to bring in Nagelsmann, and he actually thought about it but said no because he couldn't bring in his entire coaching staff. And that's just typical Tottenham. No, you can't bring in your entire coaching backroom staff that helps you to achieve the greatness that you've achieved. Why would we do that? Why would we do that? That's the only person who I'm thinking of. So look, I'm thinking it like this. If we manage to stay up, which I don't believe we are, we must accept the inevitable and our fate. So, but if we manage to did stay up, I want nobody but Nagelsmann. Like, honest, big man thing. I don't want no De Zerbi, no this guy, no that guy, no Poch return. No. Nagelsmann, 5-6 years with a banging DOF, sign him up, you know. And then if we go down, which I believe we are, then just bring in Robbie Keane as the first coach, bring in Jermaine Defoe as his second, and you bring in Harry Redknapp as the DOF while we're in the championship, because we're going to need those type of people around the club. We're going to need something. Again, I'm tired. I'm bored and I'm tired of this circus of a football club, because there once was a club. There used to be a football club over there. There once was a club. There once was a club. Tottenham Hotspur. Problem. Hotspur. There once was a club. And we keep sucking it up. And that's just how it is. It's going back to what I said about not just football fans, but society in general. We're tapped out. We're tapped out. Nobody wants to do anything. It's like when you're walking down the high road and then you see like a commotion going on, or you see two people fighting on the high road, and then nobody does anything until that one person steps in. Until that first person steps in and is like, come on guys, da 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 da. And then number 2 steps in. And then number 3 and number 4 and number 5 and number 6 steps in, because that's how people move. Nobody wants to be the leader in that sort of sense, because again, it's kind of going back to like a story that I read, fantasy story, where it's just like one of the lines is just basically like, leadership is best put upon people who don't look for leadership in that sense. But where, as Spurs fans, where do we reach our boiling point? Because I don't think Spurs fans have a boiling point. I don't think they do. Championship is still going to be like, it is what it is. You know, I'll go and pay £50 to go and watch us play in the championship. It's my club. We're tapped out, man. I'm tapped out, and I can't be arsed with it no more. And again, Tudor made the precursors look after the soul and the essence of your father. You didn't even deserve to be here anyway and suffer all of the madness that Spurs fans and content creators were putting upon you because of your decisions and whatever else have not. You weren't supposed to be here. You've never been in the Premier League. You don't understand the Premier League. You don't understand the players of the Premier League. You don't understand the likes of the Nottingham Forests and going away to this club, and you don't understand it. That's why I said I have no qualms about this manager. I had no qualms. I don't care. I don't care if he decided to put 7 men up top. I don't care. Because the club put us here. The club put us here, people. We need to stop on all of this. Oh, the manager, and I get it. We must, in some form or fashion, be like, oh, the manager's playing about with these tactics and these. I get it. But we've seen it enough, because I was watching a content creator who dropped something about the difference between Arsenal and Spurs. And it's like Spurs have had like 20-something, 30-something managers, while Arsenal have had 6 in the space of like 30 years. And it makes you realise why some teams like that, like Arsenal, like the scumbags Arsenal, have been so prosperous, while Tottenham are still trying to figure out what they're trying to do, because Martin Jol, Harry Redknapp, Pochettino and Ange Postecoglou are the only 4 managers who got more than 100 games. What does that say? And then now we're looking at Ben Davies or Chris Hughton, or yeah, we might try and Harry Redknapp, and it's too late, people. We're done out here. We're tapped out. Tapping out like Stone Cold Steve Austin when he tapped out to Kurt Angle in 2001. We're tapping out with a whimper. And I said it time ago. It's been down to the players. And it's not down to the manager. We cannot keep blaming managers anymore, because we've had some of the best come in here. And even when some of the best came in here, our players were still like, man, you don't know what you're talking about. Who in the... Notice how when Marino come in, Son upped his level, Kane upped his level, Højbjerg upped his level, Alderweireld to a slight degree upped his level with the long balls over to Kane to control it and send it on to Son. You know what I'm saying? Sergio Aguero's to a slight degree upped his level, but the players like the Dele Allis and whoever else, they was like, man, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm the man, but where are you, man, now? Some Spurs fans are like, oh, Dele Alli's training with us. We should sign him back up. Come on, this is what I'm talking about. The club put us here, people. Well, we're lackadaisical. Absolutely lackadaisical, and I'm tired of it. So that's